Here we sit like birds in the wilderness, birds in the wilderness, birds in the wilderness. Here we sit like birds in the wilderness, waiting for LMU to load. Hi there! You're watching RomRom, the channel sharing the joy of sim racing. My name is Cody, I'll be your host for this video, and today we are back with a second look at Le Mans Ultimate. There have been several updates since it released last week, and so it's worth a one week second look. We're giving it a second look. But first, a big thank you to our subscribers, and a very big thank you to our patrons. Now, without further ado, fingers crossed, let's dive in. The online is no longer grayed out. The first time that I reviewed this, it was grayed out. There were some folks saying that it was not grayed out on that day for them. Some were saying that it was. So that's interesting. They did address that, and it's now online is available. There have been people doing online races to varying results. But today we're going to just take a look at the race weekend. Today we're going to try Spa. We're going to go to Spa. This is my favorite track. I'm basic. But we're going to go to Spa today. In our first video, I was not even able to get to the race because the game would crash after qualifying. I have gone through, I've adjusted some settings to hopefully give us a little bit more frame rate, a little bit better stability. So now we begin the loading screen. I've noticed it got maybe marginally better loading, but it hasn't improved much. But we do get to wait, and wait, and wait.
Eventually,
I'm seeing a little bit of worrying things on the edges. I'm on an ultra-wide monitor, and so there's a little bit that you're not seeing that I am seeing, and there's some animations that just kind of move like this, and they're at a real low frame rate. Start driving. I've clicked the button for start driving. And we're not driving yet. So the UI is still lagging. A little bit out of a race session, but when you're in a race session, it's still unusable, basically unusable. But okay, there we go. Now, several seconds after I clicked it, we're able to get in. The settings that we're on is medium settings on a GeForce RTX 3070 Ti. Yeah, frames are still not good. Ooh. And something doesn't feel right. Let's see. Yeah, okay, I have no force feedback. Yep, all of a sudden I have no force feedback. Yeah. I dip a wheel into the grass, I feel nothing through the wheel. That is worse than it was before the 3 hotfixes that we got. That's not good. You know what? I'm going to try to reset to defaults, because it originally worked a week ago with the default settings. So I'm going to try it with that and see how we do. Yeah, okay, there is force feedback. I'm feeling it as I go through the grass here, but see, okay, here you go. With the race. Length, 0 minutes. What is a 0 minute race? And then you can go all the way up to 18 minutes, which was previously the minimum. So now the maximum is 18 minutes.
a little longer than a few minutes later.
Alright, see now our maximum race length is 6 hours. It's different every time, the maximum and the minimum and oftentimes the ones you get to choose between. That's still insane to me. What you're seeing is what I'm seeing. I'm getting a few seconds of movement, and then it's kind of freezing. This is kind of a terrifying experience. Quit to main menu. Hit the button. The lag on anything in the controls or the menus was bad on launch, and it is still bad. You see how, like, I said that entire sentence in the time that it took from my button click to happen, the input to register, to happen, where it opens the dialogue. That's insane. We're going to take the graphics down to potato mode. Because I am on a Samsung Odyssey G9. Got to push a lot of, pixels. I get that. So let's give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm giving it a benefit of doubt that I don't have to give it in Automobilista 2, in Assetto Corsa, in R Factor 2. I don't have to do this. I can play it on pretty decent settings. But we are going to go down to low, very low. All right, we are in. Finally, hopefully, everything is working the way that it should. Hopefully, the force feedback issues have been solved. I reset the force feedback to default settings. Hopefully, game is not go like less than a frame, and hopefully when I click this start driving button, it does not take a minute plus to get into the game. I've clicked the button. We're in. Yes. All right. Good. Maybe getting it down to potato graphics has proved my plight here. So, let's get driving. Okay, we're still having issues even on the absolute lowest on an RTX 3070 Ti. And the game crashed. So, all right. Well, if you were wondering if these hotfixes for Le Mans Ultimate have improved the game's stability, performance, usability, no. And in my personal experience here, it has made it worse. If you were like me and you were buying it on day one, you might have had the same experience that I had on day one. And if you did not do that and you're like, I'm gonna wait a week until they roll out these hotfixes that they have been promising, and then I'm gonna buy the game, you would be just as disappointed, if not more so, than on day one. So a week in, 3 hotfixes in, it is not good. In my experience here, it has been worse. Other people have been able to get more out of the game here, but that has not been my experience this time or the previous time that I looked at it, and I still cannot recommend it. And as a matter of fact, I will wholesale do not buy. I do not recommend this game at all. Save your money. We will keep returning to this, maybe not with this frequency, especially if this is the experience, because this was torturous, honestly. This was not a fun thing. I was not able to turn a single lap. And that does not make a good racing experience. If you are struggling so much with trying to get the thing to even basically work and it still can't, that's a problem. especially for something that is supposed to be such a complete, good package right out of the box.